up, y'all? Welcome into another OG NBA Finals edition with the crew, the whole crew. Wham Bam, Dutch, Babano. It might be that last game. We're gonna
Will
talk
it be
about
our
it, but
season finale? Yeah.
You know
yeah.
I couldn't
We'll
miss the
see.
last show, bro.
Hey, if it is, it's been great doing these shows with y'all, and we made a lot of money. So let's see if we could do it one more time. But let's go around the horn. I'm gonna go to Babano first. He gives a great summary. What you think about what you've been seeing and how you doing, Babano?
Well, what we've seen is one team looks like the vastly superior team. It's just a more talented team, a little bit deeper team, and that's the Denver Nuggets. They showed it clearly in game 3 and in game 4 to go down to South Beach and win both games. I thought it was very impressive. And the one thing Miami could not let happen, they let happen in game 3 and in game 4. You're going to have a hard time shutting down, containing uh, Jamal Murray. You're going to have a hard time shutting down, containing Nikola Jokic, who's been phenomenal, best player in the world right now. But the one thing you can't do is you can't let somebody else on the Denver Nuggets go off and beat you and have a big night. They let Christian Brown do that in game 3. And then, of course, in game 4 on Friday night, it was Aaron Gordon, who just out of nowhere, 25 plus point, can't happen. They're already up against it, against Murray and Jokic, trying to keep them off the score sheet and keep them from taking over. You can't let one of the supporting cast not just play well, but play that well and really have a big hand in leading to Denver's success. And that got them in trouble. And they're not getting enough in this series from Max Strus. Gabe Vincent didn't play well in game 4. Caleb Martin's become a bit of a forgotten man in this series after a phenomenal Boston series. I mean, not nearly the same player. And you got to give, obviously, Denver a lot of credit. And from a coaching standpoint, look, we've all showered with praise endlessly Eric Spoelstra, but Michael Malone has proven to be a worthy adversary to Eric Spoelstra in this series. And he now is one win away from his first NBA championship. And I think if Denver clinches this series, we all probably think it's a matter of when, not if, Denver wins this series at this point. Although Miami did, has shown resilience throughout these playoffs. But that's going to put Michael Malone, I think, in that pantheon finally, if he wasn't already, of one of the better coaches in the NBA if they finish this off and win the NBA Finals. So Miami's up against it. I know they're going to bring Tyler Hero off the injured reserve and hope that he can put his Superman cape on and save the day and save the season for the Miami Heat. But asking him to do that seems like asking a lot right now.
It does. Yeah, I don't remember the last time he's played, and who knows if he'll be on a bench restriction or not. But we'll get into that. Dutchy, how you feeling today? How's everything been treating you?
Yeah, man. Feeling real good on a Medicate Monday. It's the last motherfucking show. It's been a long ride. It's been a good long season. Started on Pub Sports, ended over here on Profit Motherfucking Picks. Playoff edition. We keep it going. OGs, we had to do it for the people. We care about the motherfucking people. And
That's
it's been a beautiful thing, man. We've been breaking bread and we've been hitting them over the motherfucking head, really, weekly, each show. So I had a couple bumps on the road, but man, luckily, the total man, Mr. Skee, I've been riding with him, and he's getting me right, keeping me right. Nets bets on the like in Denver. Leatherwood, Mr. Leatherwood isn't scared of the big number, -8.5. His play of the day. Yeah, man. I had the same thing. I didn't think Miami was losing game 4. I think this series is over. It's kind of got the hockey vibes to me. I've been watching a lot of hockey lately too, Bobano. With these nights here, and I'm excited. I'm excited not only for tonight but for tomorrow night when the Knights close it out here in 7:02.
That's right.
But yeah, man. It's Mile High basketball, I believe. Vibes. Miami Heat culture wasn't it? Wasn't it, man? I took a money line at the crib. It wasn't a public play to me. It was just an automatic. I had to bet it. I felt like this is the series. I felt Denver has been somewhat suspect on the road. Obviously, beating LA, talked about a little bit prior. They did beat LA 2 times in LA. But outside of that, they were, pretty suspect on the road in the playoffs. So to go to Miami and beat them twice in Miami was very impressive to me. I think Miami's kind of hit their ceiling. I really do. Let's talk. They were the bubble team. We talked about it. They played the Bucks. They played the Knicks. They played a 7-game series against the Boston Celtics. And really, my Denver kind of had it on cruise control all playoffs. So I think we're kind of seeing that here. I do believe they're the better team. I don't know, probably with Hero coming back, I don't think that really I think that's more. I don't think that really is going to be too big in this game. Honestly, I think it helps out my prop. I like what we'll get to as well, and it might even like this from a total aspect of what we like. I think that helps it out as well. So eager to talk about the game, see where we're at. But definitely believe Miami's game 4. It was the series. So that kind of gives you an idea, where I'm at.
All right, good stuff. In the chat, Casey cutting up. I ain't playing with you
Yeah,
today, Casey.
she is.
Dylan says he played best back against the wall. What do you think
Back
about what you've
against the
seen
wall.
so far, Wham Bam? And then we'll get into if we think they'll play their best with the back against the wall.
Yeah, all right. So last game, definitely was on the wrong side with the Heat full game. Man, Kevin Love saved us. We thought he was going to get 3 3-point makes. He did that for us. Got 3 out of 5, 12 points, held it down, went over all the best there. Bam, man, fuck, bro. Damn, we were so close on that one. I could have had a monster day with Bam. Fell short with the PRA. Not bad though. I think we still could go back to it. He did have a double-double. A lot of shots he missed in that last game. Maybe it's a little bit more of an efficient night for him tonight. I expect them to be a little bit more efficient, but we'll talk about that later. But as far as the last game, man, I think you're right, Babano. Caleb Martin kind of hasn't been able to do it. 5 of 12 last game. Kind of got most of his looks out of the whole playoff. All the whole finals in that last game, but he wasn't able to convert. The guy last game for it's the same guy for the Nuggets that keeps not showing up is Michael Porter Jr. He just keep not showing up, bro. It's funny as hell now, but Jamal Murray, actually, they were able to figure out some good defense on him. I like the way they play defense on him, but you said it, Babano's Eric Gordon, and some timely threes from Bruce Brown as well. That was able to just and timely threes for Jokic. When those shots go in, those hurt. Me being the Heat, I was on the Heat yesterday. Oh man, those are crazy. When those shots go in from Jokic from 3, they sting hard as hell. So I don't want to be anywhere near that shit today. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see those things falling, especially with the altitude and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, last game was interesting. Hopefully we can make it back with the props, and I like the total today as well. So let's figure out how we can get some money, man. If it's the last day, man, let it be a profitable one. Let us have fun here. Let's crack some jokes. Let the chat go crazy. Let KC go free. We're gonna thank
I like the Dutch getting into the hockey though. I liked hearing. You know what's great though about hockey? You can if you have a problem with someone on the ice, unlike the court, unlike the field, unlike a baseball diamond, you actually can fight them, get it out of your system, and all you get is 5 minutes in the box. That's it.
It's fucking amazing.
I wonder what John Morant do on the ice.
Yeah. The end of that game, game 4 in Florida, bro, that shit was they were pissed the fuck off. I thought some shit was really gonna go out. How close was that too? Would have saved a goal at the end of that, huh? That dude had a fucking wide open foul.
Aiden Hill, man, that goalie for Vegas, he's playing great.
He's playing fucking phenomenal.
I have it right there in front of me now at the bar, so everybody's showing. I'm watching every single fucking moment of it. It's it's a little different, man.
Let me ask the Vegas boys this: if they wrap it up Tuesday night in Game 5, Vegas Golden Knights, how fucking lit is Las Vegas going to be for their first pro sports championship?
Insane. It's going to be insane because this ain't a Raiders town, bro. This is a Golden Knights town.
Sure.
After that shooting and shit, they were there. They rallied. There's people. Every other license plate is a fucking Golden Knights license plate. You don't see no Raiders shit.
They actually are cool too. Those license plates are fucking tight.
Yeah, the logo's dope as fuck. You got tattoos. Every other motherfucker you see got a tattoo of a Golden Knight, a fucking hat. Skee will tell you, bro. This shit. Hey, I said it on Medicaid Monday. This morning.
Asking about the Aces. Skee up to no good.
I should have said major pro sports championship. Major pro sports championship. Not the WNBA.
The domestic violence championship.
Okay. Hey, you can just go do something else, bro. He said, what are we talking about? Hey, you don't want to listen, bro. It's a lot of other stuff you can do. But the Aces, I ain't gonna let Dutch bash my Aces too much, man. They brought the first city championship over here, and Vegas gonna be the next one to bring the championship.
Hey, listen though, Skee.
That's right. That's right.
Keep it a hundo. I said, it's true about the
Vegas
Knights
won
and
it.
the Raiders. But did anyone even really know the Aces won a championship here in Vegas?
Come on, bro. Come
Hey,
on,
I
bro.
was at that parade, my boy. We was in
Yeah,
Miami.
Man,
that
I
boy
was
was at
like,
that
hey,
parade for sure. He was.
I didn't hear not one damn person talk about that shit. I live in this motherfucker. But Skee. He was
Skee
probably
and
at the
3
Thomas
others.
and Mack Center.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, I'm done, man. We'll
Oh,
get in
by the way,
trouble over
one
here, man.
why the Golden Knights were huge there. That's their team. It was an expansion team. It originated in Vegas. Their Raiders were a transplant team from Oakland.
Right.
If they get baseball, the Oakland Athletics, they're going to go there from Oakland. It didn't start here. It was,
Right.
from the ground up here in Las Vegas. We got someone else's, reject team kind of thing. Raiders, athletics, and baseball. I don't know. They're probably going to get a basketball team too in Las Vegas, NBA at some point. Just a question of is it expansion or a relocation. But that's
Bring
why
the
the Golden
Spurs.
Knights are special there. It started in Vegas. It's their team.
Yeah, for sure.
After all that, this segment is just telling y'all take the Golden Knights, man. They taking that shit home, man. I'm already on the Golden Knights money line, bro. Don't play yourself. Pay
There you go.
yourself, man.
Yeah, man. The vibe will be insane tomorrow night, like no other. Just watch
Man.
that shit. You'll see just from a fan.
And I'm gonna get my rest so I can turn into the party guy because I know what the city gonna do after they win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm hitting this shit tomorrow. I have to, but I don't even like that motherfucker. I'm going tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get into it today. Let's figure out. We got the last NBA game. Let's see if we can find some ways to make some money on it. 521, 522. Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets open -9 for the Nuggets. Total open 208.5. We're looking at 210. My bad, excuse me. I'm gonna come to Wham Bam first on this one, just because I'm curious what you thinking about from a side perspective. Like I think Miami is a really gritty team. As poor as they've played, they haven't really lost by too big of a margin. 9 points is kind of enticing to me. Is it to you?
And honestly, I'm going straight to the first quarter, bro. They won 3 straight first quarters. If I'm going anywhere with this side, I gotta go first quarter. Shout out to LA Mackin. I'm right there with you, bro. I think the first quarter on the spread is the wave. I had to tell my daughter to stop. She was moving toys and stuff. This ain't the time to clean up. I agree. I agree with everything there. Because I think that, like I said, they won the last 3, and on the spread there, very close. We had the money line last game. Man, I thought we was gonna lose that money line play with the Heat. I think I could go right back to that. I think I'm not expecting Tyler Hero to come save the day or anything. But I am looking for him to be a spark. They need somebody else to hold the ball, just to be able to dribble the ball. I think he's going to at least allow them to help have the little bit more dynamic, even if his shot's not falling. Just being able to make passes, I think that's just going to be a help on their side. So I don't think it's going to be as detrimental him adding it to the lineup. Let's be real, bro. We've been talking about them not having any talent. As soon as they come into talent, now we're gonna say the talent gonna fuck it up. Like, I'm not going to go into that presumption here. I'm going to think that he's going to help rather than he hurts them. So that being said, I think the 9 is a lot of points. But again, this being one of those games that there's a moment in the game where this team is just better. And I said it earlier on the pre-breakdown, is that fucking shot drop for Jokic, them long rainbow threes. Man, I can only imagine how those boys starting to feel. You know what I mean? They seen it before. They just lost. You know what I'm saying? 3 straight. So it's I'm not 3 straight, but 2 straight. But at the house too, it's kind of hard. But I think that the only way I could go here, and it's the only bet that I wrote down that I didn't bet yet, is the Heat first quarter lean, because I didn't want to come in here and get smoked by all 3 of y'all. And it's like, why am I on the Heat? Why do I think the Heat got a chance here to come out early? Just because I do, and I think it may be just me putting the 10 hat on, bro. Y'all know how I get sometimes. So I want to talk that out with you guys. But for the most part, I'm right there. I think that they can come out, at least win the first quarter. I think it's a money line play along with the +3 or 3.5, whatever you could get there. I just think that that's the wave there. I understand LJ likes the first half. I'm not mad at you, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to figure it out in the first half and still be able to cover that 5 for you. But I think the first quarter is probably the best bet that I think that the Heat has to win and cover. So if I'm doing anything, it's going to be that. And depending on what you guys are saying, that might make my card for sure.
So on that note, I gotta ask. I'm gonna come to Bobano here, but Wham Bam says he likes Miami early. LA Mackin says Miami punts after the first half. Like I feel like that's a little bit of recency bias right there. Like Spoelstra is long term, even in these playoffs, he's been good in the second half. He's good at making adjustments. So well, I do understand and agree that Miami should come out and throw the first punch, but at the same time, if I like Miami, I'd probably want to include the second half, for those adjustments that Spoelstra is usually good at. And on the flip side, if you like Denver, um, I think the number's a little bit too high. I think you got to try to chop it in half. So, do you think the same way as Wham, or are you thinking like I'm thinking, Bobano?
I'm thinking I do one of each. And like I was saying before the show, first half full game split on Miami, because I think it could go either way. I think it's very unpredictable as far as if Miami falls off, do they start slow finish with the effort that, hey, if they're down at halftime, do they come back strong in the second half? And we've seen Denver not blow leads, but they've let teams back into game, especially at home in the second half. Look at game 2. Perfect example. The game that Miami won in this series. So I don't think you can chain yourself to the thought process of Miami's going to show up because they're resilient, but they're only going to show up in the first half, or they're only going to show up in the second half. I think you've got to spread it out both ways. So, and it's not with extreme confidence or anything, but I am going to place probably a quarter unit on first half Miami and a quarter unit on the full game Miami. Again, it's not as big a bet as it normally would be for me in this instance, because I am concerned that matchup wise, maybe Eric Spoelstra's run out of options. And maybe game 3 and game 4 is a sign of that, where in the second half, things got worse, not better for the Miami Heat. Miami lost the second half in both games in South Beach. So maybe that's a sign he's run out of counter moves to what Denver is doing here. And it's just because that's sometimes what even the great coach will run up against when the other team is just better. And I think we're kind of seeing that right now with the Denver Nuggets taking things over here these last 2 games. But I do know this Miami team, when their backs are against the wall and everyone's counted them out, that's often when we've seen the best out of them. And I know this is going to be a little bit different for Denver. And I know they were talking about this on TV today, that, Denver at home now, you're back home with your fam. You've got basically your own family and uncles and aunts and parents and brothers and sisters coming into town to watch this game because you have a chance to win the championship. And the same thing with your wife's family. If you're a Denver player, you're all coming into town to see if they're going to win this championship. And with that pressure and the trophy being in the building and the crowd, sometimes it's not easy to always perform at your best. And there could be a little bit of that tonight for Denver, where they actually might feel it's going to be easier to maybe wrap this thing up if it goes back to Miami for a game 6. But I could definitely see a scenario where Denver wins a close game and wraps it up, but Miami competes and gets inside the number. I mean, to me, I can't lay 9. That much I know. That much I know is I don't want to lay 9 points with Denver tonight. It's a matter of, do you pull the trigger and take Miami here? And I'm probably going to do that, and I'm going to go with the full game first half split here on the Miami, because I don't want to guess that the first quarter is their best quarter, or the second quarter is the best quarter, or the first half's the best half, or the second half's the best half. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to cover both angles where, okay, Miami has a good start. Denver, hey, we don't want to go back to Miami at halftime, and Denver just takes over in the second half like they did the last 2 games. And then all of a sudden, maybe the full game becomes in question, but I cashed my first half bet already, or vice versa, where maybe Denver has the good start, but Miami says, well, last 24 minutes or our season's over, and they come back strong and they get through the full game number and stay within 9 down the stretch. So I don't want to guess which part of the game is going to be that part where Miami, covers if they do. I would rather take my shot with a split between the first half and the full game, and that's the way I'm going to play it. And as far as the total goes, I like the under. If anything here. And I don't understand why it's moving up. Maybe because it's the lowest total in the series. I get that. But I made that argument in game 4 that 210 and a half was the lowest total in the series, and it still stayed under. And maybe now they say, oh, 208.5 this opened, lowest total in the series, value on the over. But, the under has been cashing for a reason. It's not easy right now for Miami to score. And I think there's some sentiment and opinion that with Tyler Hero potentially playing for we don't know how long, he's probably going to be on a minutes restriction, that's going to help Miami offensively. And so that's going to another shooter, another score, and that's why it could go over the total. But I'm not in a rush to bet overs, especially in elimination games. I'll tell you that right now. We've seen a lot of these elimination games, game 5, 6, and 7 in these NBA playoffs, more unders than overs. And with this total going up, I'm even less interested in betting the over. Let's put it that way. Lean under the total for sure.
I would agree with that. I think the bookmakers, dropped the total down for a reason. Everybody else is looking at it like, oh, it's too low. But low for a reason, in my opinion. Dutch, you're looking at the total, you're looking at the side. How you approaching this game tonight? Muted.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah.
I was choking on that motherfucking peanut butter. Shout out to a lot of love in the chat though. I see. Shout out to our guy BJ. He thinks the Heat money line. You Capper, I see you, my dude. Troy T right there with the Heat as well. This our cat Munaf, man. That's right, man. 193 motherfuckers watching, and we got 31 likes. That shit don't add up. God damn it. He said Russell Westbrook numbers. We can't have that. Skee. We cannot have that.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, bro.
I mean, it is the last motherfucking show. Last time you see us motherfuckers together until October. So god damn it. Show a little love. Hit the motherfucking like button. It's not too much to ask. I need money. Well, god damn it. Good to see you. Perfect timing. Personally, I think it's a rapper tonight. It's a rap. Dave Chappelle, wrap it up, bring it out. It's time to hit the motherfucking wrap it up button. To me, Miami, it was game 4, man. That was a series, man. They fucking choked that shit away, losing 2 in a row at the crib, to a team that's been somewhat suspect, as I mentioned, on the road. And then you look on the other side, you really think Denver's going to lose 2 in a row at the crib? I mean, I don't see that happening. They're 8-1. Only lost, obviously, coming to Miami most recently at the crib, winning by double digits. They've been money at the crib all fucking year long. They've been bet on, and now you think they're gonna lose 2 in a row in a chance to win the motherfucking championship, the chip? I don't think that happens. Is it a big number? Yes. But if I had to bet this game from a side perspective, it's got to be Denver, because I do believe Miami's burnt out, man. I believe someone in the chat said 28 games to 18 games played. Miami to Denver, good stat there. As we touched on a little bit earlier, they've played a lot of fucking basketball. Tyler Hero, I believe, is going to fuck it up a little bit. As I touched on earlier on Medicaid Mondays, I like Strus under 7.5 points. He's just like continuing to drop each and every game. His confidence is at an all-time low. He only shot 3 3-pointers last game, went all the way down from like 28, 29 to 18 fucking minutes. And I believe Tyler Hero coming back is only going to even affect that even more. So earlier it was 7.5 under, got it -105. So right around there. I don't know with Hero coming back now, officially it might have moved, but I definitely look at the under here. Been riding with my boy Skee in the crew and Razor and the boys, on this under. And I just think, man, it's the same exact thing as last game. I went up to 211.5. I waited, got it. I haven't bet it yet because people are betting the over. It's 210.5 right now at BetMGM. I'm hoping to see 211. Playoff basketball. I do believe there's pressure on Denver as well. I expect Joker and Murray to play outstanding. But the role players, even though it is at the crib, this is closeout basketball. This is the first time for Denver. This is the first time they've been in this situation. So the pressure, I believe, is they do have pressure on them somewhat. And then obviously Miami. I think they've already overachieved this year, to be quite honest with you. So, but I just believe the energy's out. They don't have enough in the tank. Spo's pretty much juice these motherfuckers. Jimmy, we've got all we can get out of Jimmy. And Tyler Heroes, he ain't gonna come back and save the motherfucking day. It doesn't happen that way. Been gone way too long. Those legs won't be there. And this is playoff elite at the all-time, elite basketball level right here. So you're not just gonna come back after taking that long and just do dirt. I don't see that happening. So give me the under and give me Max Strus under 7.5 points. Both looks are good money, and I could only look mile high.
Good stuff there, Dutchy. I agree with, like I said, the under, and I just think the point of emphasis really for Denver is to defend the 3-point line for Miami. After Miami shot like 50% in game 2, we've seen them, be really good about, getting after those guys. And Miami hasn't shot nearly as good since. So I like that. Both teams playing at an extremely slow pace. And when Miami plays zone, that makes Denver has to play slow. So I like the under, man. I understand why it's going down. I don't care that it's going back up. I made a bet at 208.5, and I'm gonna make another one at 210. So that's how I'm feeling about this game. Player props. I want to ask you guys, if the attention to detail for Denver is on, defending the 3-point line, do we look at maybe Max Strus under his threes? Is there somebody else we can fade on their 3-point prop? And on the other side, do you guys agree with, Michael Porter Jr. has been hitting anything? I think he's hit 3-pointers out of 22 so far this series. Do we go under his 2.5 3-point makes? Anybody have any opinion on those two?
I wouldn't argue with that. I certainly wouldn't. I mean, why has Michael Porter Jr. given anybody evidence that he's got confidence with his perimeter shooting right now? No, he's given nobody any confidence about that. So he's not someone I am looking at. What I find here in this series is, and I noticed this when I talked to a lot of other people that have been betting props, there's so many people that have fallen into that trap of, well, they're due to have a better night. They're due to finally make some shots. And it just hasn't happened for some of these players. And Michael Porter Jr. is one of those people. So I don't bet that their due factor. Okay. I don't give two shits about them being due to have a good night. The fact is he has struggled in this series, and tendencies are that, if someone is struggling in particular against a certain opponent, it's not just going to turn around all of a sudden for the Miami Heat, for Denver here with Michael Porter Jr. as far as making some shots. As far as if you're going to look at someone for threes and points in tonight on the Denver side, I'll throw KCP out there because he's had some looks. He's just missed some, and in a game of this magnitude, closeout game, part of that Laker team that won in the bubble in 2020, I think he's probably a more reliable option. And again, with his prop, it's now plus money. There was a time in this series that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was over 1.5 made threes at minus 130, minus 140. It's now plus 110. So you can get a nice take back now on him just to have a couple of threes. I'd rather take my chances with a guy like KCP than a guy like MPJ, who we know is flighty with the effort on a night-to-night basis, and you don't know necessarily what you're going to get. So, yeah, definitely I'm interested in some KCP offensive props here tonight in this game on the Denver side. I think on the Miami side, we're going to mention our guy again here, Kevin Love, assuming he's going to be starting for the Miami Heat. His point prop is 6.5. The made threes is 1.5 at plus 120. So all he's got to do is hit a couple of threes. It's not a bad look, in my opinion there. So as far as I'm concerned, looking at Kevin Love at a low number, assuming he's going to still be in that starting five. You're going to want to wait, though, because, Eric could make a change. They are off 2 losses in a row right now. So if Love's taken out of the starting five, you may not feel as good about that prop. But again, he had 12 points in the last game for the Miami Heat, the 108-95 loss in game 4. So I think he's still being undervalued again, big time, especially if he's going to start again. Bam finally went under because his prop was 20.5 in the last game. He got 20. I mean, just brutal. You lost by the hook. Essentially there, but I still lean over because he's been right around 20 plus points in just about every game. But unfortunately, the numbers kind of caught up to that here. This though game being in Denver, that point prop on him has bounced down to 19.5. So, at least if he hits 20 tonight, you're going to cash that. But Bam's been really good. Yeah, Kevin Love over points and rebounds, says EQ. I wouldn't talk anyone out of that, especially if he's going to start again. So those are definitely some of the props. I swear I'm going to cash a Jimmy Butler double-double at some point. I know it. He's going to get one at some point. He's been somewhat close in a couple of these games. So I'm coming back to that tonight as well. Jimmy Butler double-double here, plus 330. Feels like one of those games he'll do whatever he has to do. If he has to score, he'll do it. If he has to rebound, he'll do it. If he has to facilitate, make that extra pass, and get a few assists, he'll do it. And I think it'll set him up in a decent spot to have a chance to get a double-double tonight. And again, it's a good enough price to take a shot. Plus 330 DraftKings for Jimmy Butler to get a double-double.
Lots of prop looks from Bobano there. Wham Bam, I'm coming to you. You know you've been fired with these props as well. And I know you was rocking with K Love too. You going back to him here today? Anything else you looking at?
Yes, sir. You know we got to go back to K Love, man. Over 1.5 3-point makes, and that's simple as that. I'm just going to stick to that. Plus money, plus 115. Don't think we need to stretch it too far. I do think he obviously think he gets the 5.5. Just don't feel like paying the juice there, so we're just gonna load up on the 1.5 threes there. As far as the Strus look that you mentioned, and well, I believe you mentioned Strus, but you talked about MPJ. MPJ is definitely somebody I'm looking to fade if I'm thinking to take any unders on any props. I'm going to look at Strus, him, possibly even Murray today. I think Murray possibly could even have another, a little small, lackadaisical type of game. But other guys that I'm not looking to fade is Eric Gordon, Jokic, KCP. Like you said, I'm thinking anything over KCP, even Bruce Brown. I think he just got that swag about him, and that's a terrible 2008 turn that I probably shouldn't even say. That's terrible to say that, bro. But he got that type of charisma about him that I think he's going to be able to translate in this game. Of anything positive is going to be on this side of the ball defensively for him. So I think he can only help like he did in the last game with those 3 threes he made. But yeah, Kevin Love is for sure is on the card. I'm on that under too. I did take the under. I forgot to mention that. I was gonna let my guys talk about the under. Y'all know I'm gonna stick to the props and give y'all lies there, but for sure I'm on this under, bro. I think the under is just inevitable. I'm riding with my boy Skee with that. With everyone there with 209 is what I got. And I'm with you too. I think I should double dip it with the 210. If we get 210 and a half, 211, like Dutch was saying, that's even money in the bank. If I'm making an adjustment for the Heat, I don't expect Kevin Love to be out the lineup. He's been one of the bright spots for him. If you make an adjustment, you gotta take fucking Strus out, bro. I know he's good on the defensive side, but you gotta take his ass out, bro. He's shooting 17% from 3, 6.5 3-point attempts, bro. That's the problem right there. I mean, somebody in the chat said fucking the boy Tyler Hero ain't gonna be worse than Strus, and I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to worry about Tyler Hero starting. He's going to come off the bench. I think Kevin Love should be straight there. So Kevin Love over 1.5 threes, man. That's going to be it for me, bro. And I think Bam. I said the only thing I didn't write, the only thing I didn't bet was the first quarter that I wrote down. I did write down Bam over 33.5 PRA. He was so close in that last game. He's obviously averaging more than this. The problem was been like the assists and then, just pretty much converting. 45% is what he's shooting so far from the field. I think he could get to 50% today. If that's the case, he's going to have higher upward of 20 points. So I think he gets that today. It's going to be close. I'm going to be on there with Jimmy today, so I might make that official. I don't know. But so far, I'm just going to stick to the 2 props, K-Love over 1.5 threes and the under, man. That's going to be my card today.
All right, good stuff. Dutch, I know you kind of take it easy on the props, but any of them you looking at?
Shit, after Gabe Vincent prop, I shouldn't even fucking talk about a prop. God damn it. But yeah, man. Shout out to LJ in the chat. Over 13, he said over 13.5 rebounds, hit 8 out of 10 for our boy, the Joker. LJ, been money with them props. Gave him out this morning too on Medicaid Monday. Check it out. Our boy Nets bets like in Murray assist. Yeah, that's been money, man, in that pick and roll, as you mentioned. So Murray's been playing out of his mind. Paul Pierce, little reachy was saying he's the best point guard in the league. But hey, man, he's impressing me with his decision making. Absolutely. Because I question if he is a true point guard. But I mean, that's another story for another motherfucking day. Strus, under 7.5 points. I dig it, man. You touched on the 3-pointers. I looked at that first, a little juice on under 1.5. This motherfucker can hit 2, and he's still that 8. So you can have 2 3-pointers, just don't get no free throws, nothing else. I don't even think he'll get that though, to be quite honest with you. As I mentioned, 18 minutes last game's only 3 attempts from 3-point range. I wouldn't maybe be so to the window with MPJ under. I believe he's been shook. Don't get me wrong. But I do think a little bit in that second half, I definitely was faded. But if I could recall, he kind of settled down a little bit, had a dunk,
He did.
Yeah, he settled down a little bit in that second half. We know he's got the talent, so I wouldn't be surprised if one goes in the corner. MPJ finds a way to have a game and kind of end it on a high note because he's had a great season, had a really good playoffs, but definitely been shook in the playoffs. Miami got in his head. It looks like, because he even that first half last game, he was missing wide open layups and shit. It was little. I was like, God damn, this motherfucker's scary. But as I mentioned, I did think he got a little comfortable in that second half as Denver kind of just kept putting him away. Miami would make them runs, and Denver just kept, putting them down as Joker with them threes. And Bruce Briggity Brown, God damn, that motherfucker was wet from three as well. So yeah, man, under Strus, 7.5 points. And I really don't think from from any other point prop perspective, I don't really anything that really stands out to me. I do think Bruce Brown over 11.5 is kind of solid as well, because I think he's playing with an insane amount of confidence right now.
I'll say this about Porter, 16.5. That was the point prop on Michael Porter in game 1, 16.5. You know what it is now? It's 10.5.
Yeah.
So everyone is just completely selling on Michael Porter Jr. right now because of just how bad he shot the basketball in this series. So if nothing else, from a pure value standpoint, there is supposed to be value on MPJ over 10.5 points tonight. They're supposed to be.
He got
16.5 early.
JP's man going in on Michael Porter. First he said one thing, MPJ is hitting his rock bottom. Now he said making light skinned brothers look bad. Hey man, I'm telling you, I don't know. I just got this feeling that he gonna have a game tonight. I ain't betting no money on that motherfucker, especially with the juice it's at over 1.5 threes. But yeah, the points too are a little juicy too at 10.5. So I think don't be surprised if he shows up a little bit.
All right, good stuff. Everybody gave a little bit of props. We talked some size, we talked some totals. We touched the game all the way around. So now it's about that time where we get to the best bets. And I'm gonna go to my guy Wham Bam first. You know what I'm gonna say. You know how to get paid, but tell the people how to get paid.
Yeah, I ain't gonna throw it out there too, because I'm right there with you how to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So y'all call it a double dip if you will. But Kevin Love, it's love in the air. That's the reason why I brought my hat today. You know what I'm saying? Got a little love action here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm right there with Kevin Love today, man. Over 1.5 3-point makes. Don't worry about nothing, man. Let's go over that, bro.
I like it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I can see him splashing a couple more today. I'll go to you, Bobano. What do I think Bobano will bet? I think Bobano is gonna go with. I don't know what Bobano's going with. Let me know, Bobano, how we get paid.
I'm going prop because I don't feel that good about Miami. I am on Miami first half full game. I just don't think it's worthy of best bet. This is just based on the guts and the resilience and the no give up attitude we've seen from Miami all playoffs, and of course a great head coach to make sure that they've got the best plan in place to try to extend this series to Game 6. So I'm going to go with a player prop, and I'm going to go with a guy that I mentioned just a minute ago, KCP over 1.5 made threes at plus 110. Bet 365, DraftKings, Bet MGM. You can get plus 110 on this prop everywhere there. Bruce Brown had his big night in Game 4. Aaron Gordon had a big night. I think it's a KCP kind of night offensively. We know Jokic will get his. Murray will get his. Maybe Michael Porter Jr. steps up tonight, but I don't want to bet that, and I don't want to trust that. I am going to trust a guy with a ring on his finger already, and that's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for the Denver Nuggets. Over 1.5 made threes, plus 110 in Game 5 tonight. In a closeout game, I expect him to bring it with that winning experience of a championship. So KCP over 1.5 made threes, plus 110 for my best bet.
Yay!
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, I like it. And I'm gonna go next, and I'm gonna give the chat a shout out. I always tell you guys are the best. We appreciate you for everything you guys bring to the channel and for rocking with us through this NBA playoffs. So much love to y'all. And my best bet, we're gonna stick with what's been working, man. We going with the under. I told you guys a lot of reasons why I like it earlier. I do not care that the line is going up. I'm gonna go bet it right again. So best number you can get right now, under 210. Take it to the window. And I'll kick it to my guy, Dutch. Let the people know what the freshest look of the day is and help take us home.
Yeah, man. The freshest look, man. I'm going to be right with you. Right now, 210.5 minus 115 at BetMGM on the under, man. I like the Strus under 7.5 points, but my big money is going to be on that under, and I'm not pressing the button. There's no rush for me. I'm seeing a 211 get out there, but we'll call it 210.5. right motherfucking now. The Undertaker, that's right. I think it's going under. It's good money, my man. And it's been real nice, man. You know, it's been real nice. I'm gonna miss the boys. You know what I mean? I'm gonna miss the chat. Be sure to check us out. You know, over there on Medicate Mondays in the Sesh After Dark. You know, it's going down. But yeah, it's been a beautiful thing breaking it down with the boys. Everyone in the chat. Be sure to show some motherfucking love. It is the last show. It's my motherfucking high. Chill Will. JPZ. I see you. Hey, yo, motherfucking D. Good to see y'all, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man. So rapper.